Now I want to look at Andrew Holness, and I am saying I am confused. Why am I confused? Mr. Holness, for some unknown reason, some odd, strange reason, has been having an examination or a keen eye on those who use social media. And he has been going off or trying to actually stop many of the social media influencers or speakers from actually talking. Possibly not knowing that he's actually trampling on free speech, but that's another matter for another discussion. But what I realize is if Mr. Andrew Holness wants to find, ascertain, or locate an individual who has spoken out of terms or spoken what he does not like, assuming to be derogatory or assuming to be defamatory, the police can actually easily well find those individuals wherever they are. And possibly it would be as a result of using social media, using your phones. And the fact that you're using your phone, you're actually able to possibly tap into the satellite and see exactly your location. And I presume the police has that capability. So they're able to find you quickly or easily or at their will and fancy. No, Jamaica has been having a serious problem, and this is not something that is synonymous with Mr. Andrew Holness, but something that happens long before, has been trending before, and continues to be an issue in Jamaica, and that is a matter relating to murder. Murder has been happening in Jamaica dating back to slavery, the plantation society, and it has continued. In fact, a number of the slaves were actually murdered by their owners, handlers, and overseers because they did not do what it is that those individuals wanted them to do. So slavery marks a time in the history of blacks that many of them died. So it is no new phenomenon, no new issue to look at the matter relating to slavery, and one understands that. But when we're looking at today's Jamaica, and I'm saying to you, we are having persons murdered at alarming rate, and some of these murders are multiple murders, and we are unable to find these killers, find these individuals. Yes, sir, Mr. Holness and the police have been using resources to track and find persons on social media who speak a particular way about Mr. Holness. And I'm saying that's wrongly using resources. Let's use the resources to actually track the prospective killers. Or you may argue they are not killers, but these will be considered to be reaping havoc on the society, monsters, and therefore some person would want to get rid of them. And get rid of them would not be really to put them into prison, but to have them killed. Now, I want you to listen to a recent case that happened in which some individuals were murdered, and then I want to hear what Mr. Holness had to say about the matter. And this was something that was forwarded by the Gleaner, and I just want to take an excerpt of this to look at that to further argue my point. Here we go.
On Cherry Tree Lane in Clarendon. One woman lost her husband, daughter, and a cousin.
I can't bear it. I can't bear it.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has promised a strong response.
We will find you and we will bring you to justice.
And Major China.
No, Mr. Holness argued that he's going to find the killers and bring them to justice, and rightfully so. He's a prime minister, and I presume he is able to articulate his position from a political perspective to create a certain image, aura, or perception in the mind of the public that he's actually working on things. But let's look at issues. Mr. Holness has been in power for some time now, and the murder rates in Jamaica are still going at about 3 per day. And it has been so for a while now, between 3 and 4 murders per day for some time during his tenure. Guess still Mr. Holness is actually saying that we will find you. And the rate of arrest is less than 50% of murder cases. And that's a research that I have done that people are able to actually go online to look at. So my question is, why use social media to track, allocate, and find influencers and not the killers? Why are we using resources for that, Mr. Holness? Why are we using valuable resource in the form of time, investigator skill, human resources, and of course, money to locate, find, and humiliate social media influencers when the murders and the murderers are at large wreaking havoc on the society? I'm somewhat confused by all of this. And it seems that my mind's eye is saying to me that Mr. Holness does not seem to understand possibly his role as a prime minister. He's behaving as though is a personal matter that he's dealing with, or is only the leader of the opposition, and not remembering that he's the prime minister for Jamaicans. And at the moment, he's not a JLP, but he's the prime minister of Jamaica. It just so happens that he is the head or leader of the Jamaica Labour Party. But he needs to understand clearly that he is monitoring and governing and administrating the business of the people of Jamaica on their behalf as the prime minister and not as the leader of the Jamaica Labour Party or the JLP. Now, with that said, I'm actually forwarding even more by saying, if it is Mr. Holness that you do not want persons to speak, and of course, Mr. Holness, I'm reminding you that they have the right, and you also have the right to say that what you want to do, but do not seem to use your office, Mr. Holness, as power to trample on the rights of those persons who have freedom of speech, especially if they are doing whatever they are doing in the confines of the law, Mr. Holness. So you need to be careful as what you are doing, because you are trampling the rights of citizens by doing some of the things that you are doing, Mr. Holness. Remember that you are not above the law. You're also constrained by the law. So if you're going to be constrained by the law, Mr. Holness, the people of Jamaica must also be constrained by the law. So if you're arguing that they have done something wrong, Mr. Holness, what is it that they have done wrong? When a number of these persons are caught and use indecent language, and of course, Mr. Holness, you use those as well, publicly and privately. You use those as well. So if they have said something derogatory to you and all your response is to let the police find these individuals and to humiliate them, is that effective and efficient utilization of the police force? Do you want to take the police force to be a mockery institution? You want to take the police force to rubber stamp behaviors that are antisocial behavior, Mr. Holness? Is that what you're trying to accomplish? Mr. Holness, your job is to be the prime minister of the people of Jamaica and leave social media influencers who are within their rights to continue doing their work. And to the police, do not let any prime minister or any political leader, current and in the future, to use you to accomplish their end. Remember that you are here to protect the people of Jamaica, which includes the prime minister. With that said, I'm saying, Mr. Holness, I'm confused as to what is it you're trying to accomplish. I am confused as to what is it you're trying to accomplish when you are using social media influencers to establish the fact that you are the Prime Minister and that you should be respected. And at the same time, Mr. Holness, you are the Prime Minister of Jamaica who will go on stage and do some things that are against the social graces of the society. I'm confused. Mr. Holness, sometimes you do not declare your truth as it relates to your finances, and you are given time to do so. I'm confused. What moral legacy do you have, Mr. Holness, in expecting one thing of the Jamaican people and do another? I'm just confused, Mr. Holness. And I'm asking my viewers to listen to what I have to say, critique, give me a comment, give me a like, share my video with your friends, colleagues, and family members, because we need to begin to examine things and let people decide where we want to go. And where we want to go, is it to allow a politician to do what he wants and the people of Jamaica are constrained by the law?